It's that time of the month, meaning it's a new month, which means let's reflect on the things that I bought this year, last month. This year. Month. Last year, this month. This is a little series I like to do on my channel. What I like to do is I like to look at what I bought this month, the previous year, and I like to reflect on a purchase just to make sure it was like a good purchase. And if it wasn't a good purchase, what can I learn from that purchase? So today I only have one item. I only bought one thing August of last year. And it's actually like a product that I feel like became synonymous with my channel, and like a bunch of people wanted it, and it was like this really hard to get thing, and it was this little thing. This is from Chanel. This is from their fall collection last year, and I bought it in August. I'm fairly certain I bought it towards the beginning of August because fashion houses release their stuff, you know, like before the actual season. This is what it looks like inside. This is the Blush Harmony in Beige Rose a Mauve, and so that's what it looks like. And I almost had a really hard time getting it. And it was actually very funny. So I was on Bloomingdale's. It said there wasn't any left. I was able to add it to my cart, and then it told me it wasn't there. And it was like this whole big long thing. And I talked about it a lot on my channel at the time. And I finally got it into my hands. And thank God I did, because it's actually is it my favorite blush? It's one of my favorite blushes, if not my favorite blush. I reach for it a lot. And especially because I have been into cool tones for the last year or so, this really came in handy. And you can tell just if you look at it, like it's a worn in blush. And a lot of my powder blushes, you don't really see that kind of action on. I feel like a lot of my powder blushes, I'll be like, I like this. And like there will still be like almost entirely embossing on it. I've gotten in there on this one. That is not the case for this one. I have certainly put in the work on this one. It's obviously worked out really well for me, but I think I said it's so funny because I had such a difficult time getting it. And I believe the last time I checked in on this, which was like maybe a month or so ago, our friends over in Europe, they still can access these. They can still buy these. In America, it was like a flash in the pan moment. They were out. You either bought them or you didn't. You didn't get them. And I have had a couple of international friends offer to buy the other one because there was a coral one that I thought was pretty, not coral, but like a peachy coral. I don't really know. It was like a fall peach. And I just don't wear a lot of like peachy kind of things. It was pretty, but it was just, it's not for me. But I've had people offer to, you know, figure out a way to send that to me. I don't need it. I think I got the right one. The thing that's really lovely about this is it creates a really bruisey cheek. And then that's kind of been consistent with the blushes that I've been the most interested in this last year. But yeah, it's like this really gray mauve, and it's like really, I have yet to find something unique as a mauve, because it's like there's a lot of mauve or mauve blushes on the market. But I think that's something that a lot of brands are afraid to do, is to go this gray. And of course this isn't going to be flattering on everyone, but one of my biggest frustrations with cheek products is I'll buy something that looks like it has like so much gray in it and that's going to lean cool, because for some reason my skin likes to take things that are really cool and kind of neutral them out. And like, so I love gray. Anything that leans really, really cool, I like that on my skin. And my skin, it looks just like flattering on me. But if you put like a touch of warmth, like a little bit of yellow, a little bit of red, a little bit of like orange in it, that is what my skin is going to reflect back to you. It's going to shine back whatever that color is. It's going to read more that way. So something has to have like a lot of that gray in it. I know like we talk a lot about the shade Old Gum. It's something that like Hannah Louise Poston coined, and I think a lot of us are in search of. I don't think it's quite that. Like it definitely still has too much like pink to it, I think, to be that, but it has like the base of something that could be Old Gum. I really like it. I like a bruisey looking cheek, and it's not because I like, you know, the effect of like a bruise. I just think those colors are very flattering to my skin tone. Whereas something really bruisey on someone with like a yellow undertone, it's going to look, you know, sickly on them. But if I wear like something too yellow, not that I think I like this blush makes me look sickly, but it's like a yellow orange blush. If I go too far into that, the eyes start looking sickly. Like it's a very fine balance. So I understand how this product could be bad for some people and really excellent for some people. It's really excellent for me. And what I thought this was going to do, which I'm so glad it did, I thought this was going to lead me down the path of like becoming someone who wants to own a lot of Chanel. And I paid attention to it. And you know, this is a benefit of me doing this on my channel and like reflecting on purchases that I've made in the past, because what it does is it helps guide me for future purchases. So I have become, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't want to say I'm perfect. I want to like give you the vibe that I think that I'm perfect whenever I'm like, nah. But I have come to navigate the beauty space in such a way where like I'm making less and less mistakes when I buy something because I think about things before I buy them and things that like after I buy them. It's not like I buy it and then I put it in the drawer, and if I didn't like it or it didn't work out perfectly for me, I never think about it again, because those products don't stay in my collection for like very long. They stay in my collection as long as I can. Like if I forget about them and then I do a declutter, it's like those are the first things to go. It's like if I haven't put it on my face in a really long time. So I think that's the benefit of doing this. So Chanel just kind of doesn't put out stuff that I'm interested in. This isn't to say I would never buy Chanel again. I'm just not a brand devotee. I have bought Chanel since. I have the Baume Essentiel. I love that product. It's a great product. It was a great recommendation from Khaki, so I like it. You know, I like that product quite a bit. Whenever Chanel released a different Baume Essentiel that had like a mermaid flip to it, I was like, okay, like I don't need that. Like which I like the mermaid flip, but like I don't need that. You know, it's not something that I was like, I need to buy that because it's like Chanel and I already have. I find this incredibly helpful. And if you can do this on some kind of capacity with yourself, if you're not someone who's a content creator, or if you are a content creator doing something similar to this, I find it very helpful. Like, it's like not even like you have to track what you buy as far as budgeting goes, but just like track it, come back to it, just be like, okay, so I bought that. What happened to it? How often did I use it now that I have it? You know, I think that's like very helpful for us all to do. Thinking on it, was this a good purchase for me? Yeah, it was. And this was a self-serving purchase. Sometimes we talk about purchases that I made for the channel, like, or purchases that were more guided because of the channel. This was 100% a selfish purchase. And I do find that most of the time a selfish purchase works out better for me than a purchase that I'm like, a lot of people are interested in and I'm kind of interested in. This was for me, by me. I wanted this, I bought it. It's really great. It's one of those blushes that I just foresee being around in my collection until it's gone, because I think a lot of other blush releases don't come close to making something like this, and I already have this. So if another brand released something close to it, it'd be like, I won't be done with this for a while. Like I've never hit, that's a lie. I've hit pan on a cream blush before, but like I've not hit pan on a powder blush before. The changes I've made in my purchasing habits the last couple of years, especially the changes I've made with like what makeup I keep whenever I buy things for review and for PR, like my makeup is starting to look used, which I really like. And I also feel like I just know my collection a lot more. So this lives in the Brain Palace rent free. I would say the thing that I have that's closest to it, that it is still available in case you missed out on this in America. And I don't know if it's still available in Europe. I just know that it has been as of like a couple of months ago. If you missed out on this, or you don't want to go through the rigmarole of trying to find a place in Europe that's still selling that, this doesn't have the depth, but it is a similar color. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Matte Wand in the shade Pillow Talk. It has that same kind of like really gray to it, but it's not as deep. I feel like they read pretty similarly on the cheek, if I'm being honest. It's just like kind of like one's the liquid. I would say the Chanel one's definitely bruisier, has like a little more something to it. So the Chanel's here, Charlotte Tilbury's here, but you can see there's the same ilk. So if you were looking for something like that and you missed out on it, that would be where I would head next. And I'm sure that people in the comments can make some good recommendations. I talked about bruisey blushes in a declutter recently, and someone said that NYX used to make a shade called Taupe, or like the old formulation of Taupe was really bruisey. But the newer version of it, it wasn't quite the same. I don't know a lot about drugstore products, so I'm not really the one to ask. I'm learning a little bit more. I now receive PR from CoverGirl, which is like, the irony's not lost on me. I see it. Anyway, yeah, so it was a great purchase for me, for my channel. I think we all had a lot of fun exploring this blush together whenever I first got it. Like, I think it was really exciting. Sometimes I think when things work out for me, everyone else gets excited about it too. I don't know what the perception of me is, but I feel like sometimes I come off way more discerning or like too tough or too critical of like the makeup items I try. And I'm saying that because I'm about to film a brand review, and it's going to be, I don't think we're going to have as much fun as we usually do for the Suku brand review, but I still have to film it. I know that I said that was going to be my next video, but this week didn't pan out the way I thought it was going to, so I just had to make something a little bit simpler, a little bit shorter for myself. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. What did you buy last year, or what have you bought recently? What's some blush that you bought about a year ago that you are still loving and using continuously to this day? I would love to hear it. But if you happen to be new to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. My channel is a lot of this, a lot of reflection, a lot of discernment is what I try to do here. I want to help myself and help you build the habit of being more discerning about the makeup, fragrance, and fashion that you are buying. So if that sounds good to you, I would love to have you subscribe. Make sure you like this video. And I am on Patreon and I have channel memberships. You can check those out down below. I do at least one additional video every month over there. I've been trying vlogging. I'm still getting used to it, still getting my sea legs, but you know, I try to do one of those each month, and I do like a little, you know, talk a little more personally and candidly. So check that out if you would like, but there's no pressure to join my Patreon or channel members. It's just there if you would like to. I appreciate you being here. Also down below, I have a GoFundMe to help a family in Gaza to help them get out whenever the borders open. So check that out. If you can help them, I would really appreciate that. That's it. Remember to follow your haute and you'll find me. And I'll see you in a video very soon. Go forth. Tits out.